Hello and welcome to the Empowered Women's Project, a podcast and community made by women for women to help you live your best life and reconnect you back to the things that really matter. Today, I'm going to be talking all things juggling our time. I've had so many of you beautiful listeners reach out to me asking, how do you do it? How do you juggle mummahood and being a great friend and managing business and a career and your passions and your wellness? How do you do it all and feel like it's in alignment with your values and that things aren't coming at a cost? And I have definitely been through the highs and lows of that journey and figuring it out as I've gone. But I've definitely got some amazing tips that I want to share with you today. So let's jump in. So excited to be talking all things around how you can build something, your career, your health, your business, be a great mama, and still feel like there's time for you at the end of the day as well. And of course, there's definitely seasons that we go through in life. Right now, actually, as we speak, it is 6 a.m. and everyone in my family is asleep. So I have snuck outside to my office to be able to record this interview. So sometimes you need to just get up when everyone else is asleep and work on your dreams. But there's definitely other things that you can start to implement right now that are going to make a big shift in your life and how you feel like you're winning. So I want to read out a message I had from one of the beautiful listeners. And she's saying, I'd love if you could share your wisdom and tips on how to build a business when you have little ones that need you when you still, so you don't feel guilty or like you're going against your values. How to be a soulful mama and build your business in an honorable way. I'm building my business to break my cycle of poverty mentally in my family and create a new way of being and living. I'm just finding it a real challenge, staying on top of the things, even when I have all good intentions of weekly planning. A lot of the time, it just kind of goes out the window. I completely understand. I don't know if I'm being too hard on myself or unrealistic expectations. Would love your insight. I'm sure I'm not alone. Much love. And this is from the beautiful Megan, who is one of the listeners of our podcast. And so, first of all, I'm so grateful, and I love getting messages and people reaching out looking for assistance and help and guidance, because I think, first of all, how amazing is technology that if we don't have people around us necessarily that maybe are on the same page as us or on the same path in life, that we can listen to something and gain some insight. I think if I wind it right back, so my children are 8, 10 and 12 right now, but there was a time when then I was definitely in the thick of having little ones, and you go through different phases of life. And I think as women, we do a really, really good job of putting a lot of pressure and expectation on ourselves, not even that it's coming from the external sources of our partner or our mom or, our friends thinking what we should or shouldn't be doing. We just do it to ourselves. So it's interesting. I think for me in the beginning, when I look at all of the stress that I had when I had little ones, it all came down to the rules and expectations that I had for myself of what I should get done in the day. And so my first suggestion or tip that I would share with all of you, regardless of what stage of life you're in, whether you've got little ones around your ankles, whether you're in the middle of a career and kids are a long way off, or, whether you're raising, young to teenage children, it's kind of something to really consider is what rules do I have set up in my life that I need to tick off before I feel like I'm winning? So, or another way of asking it is, what does success look or feel like to me in life right now? Because I can distinctly remember when my kids were all little, so kind of brand new, 2 and 4, I didn't realize at the time I had all of these unknown rules that I had in my mind of, well, if I'm a good mum, my kids need to be happy. My house needs to be tidy. My weight needs to be on point. I need to be healthy. I need to be providing amazing, healthy food for my children. And my business needs to be growing. And my friendships need, it was just on and on and on. Now, I didn't realize it at the time. It took a process of actually kind of asking some questions of what needs to happen in order for me to feel like a kick-ass mum. What needs to happen in order for me to feel like I'm winning in business? What needs to happen for me to feel happy? And I realized I had all of these rules that were running my life. And so it didn't matter how amazing I was at managing my time. It's something that still caught me out, and I could have had the most amazing day, but because of the rules that I've set up, the rules of the game that I set up, and I wasn't even aware, I actually still felt like I was losing. And when I started to gain that perspective, it all shifted. So for example, what I started to have a rule around was I realized I can create my own rules. And it's the unconscious ones that are running patterns in our life that are, causing us to feel happy or frustrated or depressed and whatever else we've got going on. And so you probably think, hang on, I was thinking I was going to hear about time management. You totally are. But I want you to first of all recognize and understand, what rules do you have on yourself, expectations that you aren't even aware of. So you might have a rule of, in order for me to feel like I'm doing well, my house needs to be on point. Laundry needs to be put away. All of these things need to be done. Tick, tick, tick. Now, at the end of the day, I realized if I've got a connected relationship with my children, but the laundry, I just close the door on it and I get things out when I need to, or I don't iron everything or whatever it might be that you might it might be really important to you around the house, for example. I realized I could probably let that rule go and still feel like an amazing mum. But what happens as women is our home speaks to us. We walk into a room and the cushions aren't straight on the lounge and we're like, oh, I need to do that. A better woman would have already had that sorted. Oh my gosh, the kids' toys are still out. Oh my gosh, a better woman would have already had that done. Their children wouldn't do this. Oh my gosh, I've run out of groceries and I need to plan for dinner tonight, or whatever it is. It's just, we are constantly comparing ourselves to this amazing better woman that doesn't exist, by the way. And we're so hard on ourselves. So I think the first thing I want you to do is start taking the pressure off yourself. And we're all in a different season of life. So you might look at a certain woman and go, oh my gosh, she's kicking butt in business. I wish I could do that. But she doesn't have 3 little ones around her ankle. Or, oh my gosh, look at her. Her body's on point, but her relationship is crap. So you want to remember that often we look at all the things that everyone else has and we want that. But you want to start looking, and I'm not saying settle. It's not about settling. It's about changing the rules of the game for you so you feel like you can actually win. So first of all, if you can look at life through with that lens and with those layers of thoughts, first of all, I think you will start to feel so much better about your life. When I walked into my home and I went, oh my gosh, I've just had a great day. I've been building my business and I feel connected to the kids. Then the laundry or the kitchen or the whatever else was on my list of expectations before, it didn't hold weight on my shoulders. And I think first of all, it's so easy for us to get flustered because we're constantly comparing ourselves to this better, amazing woman that doesn't exist. And we're constantly putting ourselves down. So that's my first thing. Secondly, I think it's really important, and I learnt this lesson from a beautiful friend and mentor of mine, Linda, that you look at, particularly if you're trying to build a business, you want to look at your life like you've got a whole pile of different hats that you wear. And what happens is, you might have your mama hat, your wife or partner hat, you might have your friend hat, you might have your boss babe business hat. You might have, your cheeky, playful self hat. We all got these different hats that we wear. But what we often try and do, because we're this amazing multitasking woman that can juggle it all, we try and do 5 things at once. And when we try and do 5 things at once, although we think multitasking is really epic, we actually kind of start to do a poor job of everything. And then we get frustrated at ourselves. And then we wonder why we aren't feeling like we're winning. So I'm really big, particularly, really at any stage, whether you've got little kids or breaking your day or if you want to be productive into 15-minute bite-sized pieces of time. Because you can go head down, bum up and in 15 minutes, your house can look great. Imagine if I was to say to you right now, guess what? Your most favorite person in the whole wide world is going to be around at your house in 15 minutes, and you had a value on having your house looking good, you would whip around that thing and you would get it spick and span, and maybe you throw a few things in cupboards and closed doors, but you would be able to do it. But sometimes the longer or the more amount of time we allow for something, it takes 5 times as long, and we still don't get the desired outcome that we're looking for. The same thing if I was to say you only have 15 minutes to do the high paying activities to build your career, to build your business today, you would go head down, bum up, and go into massive production mode. But then if we have 4 hours to kind of do a little bit here and a little bit there, again, we often aren't productive. We can get more done in a bite-sized focused period of time than a big extended period of time. And I've tried this time and time again and tested this not only for myself with so many of the women that I coach, and it's the same every single time. So you want to break things into chunks. And then you also want to go, well, what hat am I wearing right now? So if you have little ones, some of them are going to pick up big time. Oh, mum's on her phone or mum's on her computer. I am not okay with that. I do not feel connected right now. So I'm going to chuck a tantrum, or I'm going to hang off their leg, or I'm going to ask for this or that. And that is so frustrating. I can totally resonate with any of you feeling that way or have felt that way, because I would just have this internal bubbling of anger, like, come on, child, can you not see I'm trying to just do something for us? Or I just need to do something for me. Just give me a moment. And it feels like sometimes they can just be pulling at you in all directions. You're going to go through a phase of life where that's just the phase that they're in, and you need to be okay with that. And you need to set the expectations down of business or whatever else just to reduce. Or what I did when I needed to is when everyone was asleep, even though I was tired, I got to work. So then when I was with them during the day, it wasn't something that I was trying to juggle 15 things at once and not really get anything done. But what I find is really, really interesting is that children actually don't need a lot of time. They just need quality time. They need presence from you. And so first thing I would do is set up some rules around when your phone or when you're working on your business, your computer, whatever it might look like, particularly if you're working from home, when it's away and you're 100% on mama mode, and when you've got your mama hat on, or when it's something that maybe the kids are playing or they're reading or they're in the backyard with your pets or something like that, where you go, okay, they're happy and engaged, I'm going to put some time into this. Now, if you've got little ones, you can't say at 10 a.m. I'm going to do this. You just need to commit to, I'm going to do 3 15-minute chunks today, and I'm going to go all in. So whether they're going down for a nap or they're playing and they're happy, whatever that might be, maybe you pop them in front of something for 20 minutes so you can do something. But you just want to commit, I'm going to do 3 15-minute blocks, for example. And then I'm also really big on net time. So net time stands for no extra time. What could you be doing at the same time, whether it's, say you're playing with your kids, but you have a podcast happening in the background, or you're hanging out the washing, or you're doing the school run commute, or picking up from sport, or whatever it is, but you've got something already set, ready to go, so when the kids hop out of the car to go do their thing, or they've got sport, you can go for a walk while they're in their lesson and you listen to something. So you're getting the kids are sorted, you're getting exercise in, and you're listening to something that inspires you. So look at how you can start to task things in batches, where maybe you're cooking. Like sometimes I'll cook dinner and I'll have a podcast or a training happening in the background so I can be learning as I'm doing the task that obviously has to be done every single night. So it's things like that you want to start thinking outside the box a little bit and checking in on how you can be creative with what you can get done all in one go. And secondly, what you can do to be able to really schedule out those 15-minute chunks. Now, you can do amazing body workout. And if you don't go to the gym, you can do a HIIT workout at home without any equipment. 15 minutes, you can be sweating and your heart rate up and do incredible benefits to your body. So 15 minutes, a lot can happen. And if your kids end up coming in, well, chuck them on your back and you can use them as weight resistance. That's what I used to do with some of my little ones when I would try. And I'm like, come on, I just want to do something for me. I don't want to go put them in a crèche or whatever to go to the gym. I want to do something at home today. And okay, they're just going to be here. Awesome. They're on my back and I'm going to do squats and lunges and they can be a part of the process. So you just want to start thinking of how can I set myself up to win and what hat am I wearing right now? So, if you have a partner, one of the things that they want to feel is that they are important. And I know for me, when I finally would get the kids down to sleep, I'd go, oh, awesome. I can go do my stuff. And some of that stuff was not important. It actually didn't improve the quality of my life or my family's life at all. And it was just this stuff that I thought I had to do to, be everything to everyone. And, I think realizing that, those rules that I set up for myself don't actually serve me. So when my husband Anthony would come home when he was in practice, then I started to learn, okay, well, if I'm on my phone, he feels disconnected from me. And if I'm working on my business, he feels like he's not important. So then I need to put on that hat, the partner hat or the girlfriend hat or the wifey hat to go, okay, now it's time for us to connect. And then when we had the chat or sat down and had dinner together or, went for a walk or whatever we got to do, even just play with the kids together, then when he felt connected with me, then again, I was able to go work on my business. So when my kids were a lot younger, I definitely did a lot more at night just because it was easier. Everyone was asleep and I didn't feel like I would be interrupted, which is very frustrating sometimes when you're in your zone. And so I think for any of you listening, just trying to figure out, firstly, how do I do this? Look at what you can get done in a 15-minute period of time. If you look at that, it will help you filter out each day what it is that you can focus on and move towards. Sometimes you need to lower the goal that you have in place right now so that you win in other areas of life. There's no point in having this huge business goal that you want to create and build towards, and you actually get there, but it comes at a cost to your health, to your children, to your relationships. Like, it's just not worth it. So you want to be able to do this. And I love what Megan asked. I want to do it as a soulful mama. And so when you're doing this, you want to be able to set yourself up to win, so you aren't feeling guilty that you're being a bad mom. You aren't feeling guilty that you haven't worked out today, because you can set the day up to win. Now, I think what's really important as well is that if you can get clear on what's most important to you in life. So maybe for you, it's your health and well-being. You want to work on your business and you want to have an amazing relationship with your children and your partner, for example, if you have a partner. So if that's the three important things, then it's like, well, what am I making an absolute must in each day so that those things get time and focus? And all the other stuff is just stuff, and things that we might say yes to and we really don't want to. And all of a sudden we're taking on other people's values and opinions of how we should do life. And, then it's really easy to have great intentions of how the week's going to go, and it just doesn't go to plan, and then we beat ourselves up. So it's so important to check back in with yourself of, okay, what are the rules that I've got in place right now in order for me to feel like I'm winning and being a great mom, businesswoman, friend, whatever area of life you want to ask yourself. Then you want to look at what can you do towards your goals in 15-minute bite-sized pieces of time, and particularly with your children. You've got to be present with them. They are craving your presence. And when they get a little bit of you and not all of you, they will continue to need more and more and more. And I see this now, with my kids at the ages that they are. They'll say to me, "Oh, Mom, I just want to spend time with you." And sometimes us going to the grocery store together is quality time to them, and they love it. So sometimes it's scheduling one-on-one time, so it's just the two of you, not if you have multiple children that you just go, no, I'm just going to take you today, which is just going to be us. And that's all they'll need. So then when you go home, they'll be happy to help you unpack with the groceries so that you can, get started on a project. And so with my children being a little bit older, I've shared my goals with them so that they know, all right, mum's got a big goal she wants to work towards this week or this month, but next month we get to do this. Or every Friday night they know that we have sacred time, which is our family movie night. And we'll curl up together and we'll watch a movie and snuggle up on the lounge and there's nothing more important than that. And so if there are some times during the week that they might feel like, oh, this isn't fair, I miss you, it's like, hey, don't forget we've got Friday night movie night. And also, when it's mealtime, the phone's away, we sit down, we're present with them and connecting with them. Now, I'm homeschooling as well at the moment, so that's an extra little juggle that comes into play because they're home all the time. And so if they see me working, they're like, but it's not fair, you're working all the time. It's like, hang on, guys, let's remember that the reason that I'm doing this is so that we can be home with you. And otherwise you'd be at school and you wouldn't even know what I was doing today. So it's just important, if they're old enough to know, you can have an adult conversation with them. But I think winding it right back, if you know you've got a call or something at a certain time, set yourself up to win. Chop up the fruit, get the toys ready, or if you choose to pop your kids in front of the TV just for those times, which I've absolutely done many times over. Please don't feel guilty about that. I remember going, we are going to be a no device family and my kids aren't going to, well, let's be real, 3 kids and trying to achieve business goals and life goals and take care of my health. It just was not my reality. I know some people can do it, but it wasn't possible for me. And so you just go, okay, well, what am I going to have them watch? Is it going to be something educational or like from National Geographic or something about our beautiful planet? So that then you know that they're being fed beautiful things and inspiring messages. So coming back to it, be kind to yourself. Stop comparing yourself to that imaginary perfect woman, that better version of yourself that would have had it all done and should have had it all done. Look at how you can put a different hat on. Don't try and wear 4 hats at once. You will not do a good job and you will feel overwhelmed and you won't get the outcomes that you desire in any of those areas of life. Then I think you just want to make sure that you've got clear intentions of putting time into the things that truly matter to you each day and each week, and breaking that down into 15-minute chunks. What can I get done in the next 15 minutes towards my health? What can I get done in the next 15 minutes to grow my business? And then just do that thing. And be flexible, knowing that if you have little ones at home, they are going to interrupt you, and to be okay with that. Don't make a story up that you're not a good enough mum, and if my kids were better behaved, then I could get this done, because it's just not true. Everyone goes through the same struggles. And then remembering that quality time is the greatest gift. Your children, your partner, when they feel your presence, that fills up their cup. So when they feel filled up, then you're more likely to feel okay with working on your own things as well. So hopefully that has been helpful. I mean, there's so many other things that I could share and how you can manage your time, but ultimately it comes down to the rules and the story that you're telling yourself. And you just want to start taking the weight off your shoulders, being kind to yourself. And, at the end of the day, whatever goal you have for your business, you won't remember in 5 years from now whether you hit that, January 15, 2020, or whether it was March 21. Like you just won't remember. But you will remember the stress and the overall taste in your mouth of if that was a great journey, a challenging journey, or a stressful one. And so I've definitely realized, over the years, particularly being in business now for 20 years, that the end date or the goal date, it's good to set a goal of when you'd like to have something done by. But when you throw family and values and everything else into the mix, as long as you're still on the same path and you're taking forward steps, taking action towards that each day, when it actually comes to fruition, will not bring any more joy to you necessarily. And I've hit big goals in business before, and I've learnt this lesson. I'm like, oh my gosh, when I hit this goal, when I create this income, then I'll feel blank. And when I hit it, it wasn't necessarily that case. I remember reaching this epic goal in my business, my online business that I have now in network marketing. And I was just like, when I hit this goal, there's going to be fireworks. I am going to get calls from people. I'm going to get flowers. Like, this is going to be ultimate. And I went head down, bum up, and I was going for that thing. And I know there was definitely times where I did not do a great job with the kids. I neglected other things in my life. And sometimes when you get tunnel visioned on something and you're all in, that's totally okay. But my expectation was, when I get the goal, it's going to be amazing. My reality, I got a phone call to say, yes, you've achieved it. Congratulations. I was like, yes, awesome. 30 minutes later, I found myself in the bathroom combing out head lice from all of my 3 kids' hair in the bath. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Is this it? Like, this is not how it was supposed to be. And it's funny, and I share it with you because I'm like, you know what? I hit the goal. I got it in the time frame I wanted, like boom, but it didn't actually change my life. It didn't change the way I felt about life. So if you're chasing something in order to feel enough, to feel successful, to feel whatever, I don't know if you can hear those birds in the background because it's so early in the morning, they're just waking up. If you're doing the goal, if you're trying to get the goal in order to feel and be something more than you already are, you will probably feel let down on the flip side of reaching it. So I think when you just feel on path and on purpose, and you're working towards those things that are most important to you, and you have less rules, less expectations and stress and pressure, and you can break your time down into 15-minute bite-sized pieces of time that are just kick-ass. So, and when I say that, I don't mean every 15-minute bite-sized piece of time. I mean, I'd rather you do 15 minutes of kick-ass work and then spend 2 hours of quality time with your kids than try and do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Does that make sense? I'd rather you do an epic 15-minute body workout and then go work on your business than work on your business for 2 hours and feel guilty that you haven't done that. So just know that you can get in the zone when you choose, and maybe you need some music or something that helps inspire you to kick into whatever next mode you need to. But get present with the hats you want to wear when you need to wear them. Try not to wear too many at once. It will overwhelm you, and just be kind to yourself. And I promise, even that distinction, it will change the rules of the game for you, and you will create success in your life and your business, because every step that you take is a step forward. So I hope that has been helpful for you. I know for me, it's definitely been a journey. I've made many failures along the way. I do not pretend to know it all and have it all figured out, but those are just some distinctions that I've been able to make over the years, particularly juggling children and business and working from home and, going for those goals, and to be able to feel like I'm winning and doing a good job in all areas. So if you have any other questions, if there's a topic that you would love me to speak more into, or even from today, if you have questions pop up, please connect with me either through Instagram or Facebook and reach out, because I would love to either speak more into those challenges or questions you might have, or give you some more insight in an area of life so that you can feel like you are winning. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've got some value out of today's episode. And if you have, and you haven't yet gone over to iTunes and given our podcast some love, it would be so appreciated if you could share a review and also a 5-star rating with us. We absolutely appreciate it. And the more women that get to live an empowered life, I ultimately believe that impacts our next generation and so on. So you stepping up into your next level of greatness is so needed for this earth, for this planet, as well as for our next generation. I hope you have a beautiful day. Be kind, and remember how truly amazing you are.